Imagine standing on the peak of a snowy mountain. As you gaze at the vast landscape, you notice a small, unassuming ball of snow at your feet. You give it a gentle nudge, and it starts to roll, growing in size, picking up speed, until it becomes a formidable avalanche crashing down the mountain. This image captures the essence of the slippery slope argument, a fascinating concept often discussed in logical reasoning, ethics, and debates. The slippery slope argument suggests that a relatively small initial step leads to a chain of related events culminating in a significant, usually negative, impact. The idea is not just metaphorical. It is frequently used to predict a sequence of events, claiming that if one thing is allowed, a chain reaction will lead to undesirable results. But how valid is this argument? And what should we be cautious about when we encounter it? In essence, the slippery slope is often used as a rhetorical device in debates and discussions. Politicians, lawyers, and philosophers use it to argue against a particular action by highlighting what they believe will be inevitable, harmful consequences. It might sound persuasive, but it's crucial to scrutinize the logic behind such claims. A common domain where slippery slope arguments are prominent is in debates over legislation and rights. For example, take the case of privacy rights in the digital age. Some argue that allowing governments to monitor internet activity to catch criminals is the first step on a slippery slope leading to oppressive surveillance and loss of freedom. While the potential for abuse exists, opponents might point out that this reasoning lacks evidence that one step will necessarily lead to the dystopian outcome described. Slippery slope arguments can also emerge in discussions about moral and societal changes. Consider the debates surrounding medical ethics. In the case of assisted suicide, some claim that permitting it could pave the way for euthanasia being used in questionable circumstances, eventually eroding the value placed on human life. The counter-argument rests on the trust in societal institutions to implement rigorous checks and balances to prevent such outcomes. Critics of the slippery slope argument point out that it often lacks solid foundation. It can be a fallacy if it doesn't provide evidence for each step in the supposed chain reaction. The argument is considered weaker if it relies on fear or speculation rather than factual data to support each link in the chain. It is not enough merely to suggest that one action could lead to a negative outcome. There should be demonstrable proof of a direct and inevitable consequence. So, when is a slippery slope argument valid? Primarily, it is effective when the chain of events is supported by empirical evidence or if each step is logically necessary. In absence of this, what could happen is one discussion point could snowball into a chaotic mix of assumptions and illogical leaps, diverting attention from the issue at hand to exaggerated possibilities. In conclusion, like the ball of snow that turns into an avalanche, the slippery slope argument can be powerful, compelling, and at times entirely reasonable. However, it's important to approach such claims critically, examining the evidence and logic behind each proposed step in the chain of events. By doing so, we can separate meaningful discourse from fear-driven narratives, ensuring that our decisions are based on rational and substantiated reasoning. With critical thought and evidence-based debate, we can navigate the fine line between caution and fear and make informed decisions that shape our world positively.